Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to the Chocolate Squad. So first of all, I'd just like to thank you for 1,000 subscribers. There's 1,000 of us here, 1,000 of us in the Chocolate Squad. We're growing. This is amazing. Now we've reached this big milestone, I just thought it would be appropriate for you to get to know me a little better. In order to do this, I will be revealing my unpopular opinions. These opinions are not going to be just about Black people. I'll do more general opinions as well. If you don't agree with my opinions, that's fine. And if you do agree with them, that's also fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. Don't be forced to believe what I'm saying. Okay, so for these opinions, I'll be starting off with the lightest one, and it'll be getting a bit more extreme and polemic as the video goes along, at least in my opinion. So you might hear something at the end and you think, oh, this is not that bad. This is just how I see them. Without further ado, let's get on to the first one, which is, you've probably heard me say this a lot before because I've had a few videos talking about this, but we do need to stop wearing wigs. If you've already heard me talk about wigs, then I'll put a timestamp which you could skip to skip the whole wig conversation. But it really is a conversation that needs to be had because wigs as a whole are very much damaging to Black women mentally and physically. This is specifically referring to wigs that aren't your same hair texture, because I understand maybe people would want to switch up different colors and stay within their hair texture, but they want to try different colors, but they don't want to dye their hair. That one makes sense. But perpetually wearing straight hair or looser textured hair can cause you to feel like your own hair is not good enough. This is a mindset that is very much rampant among Black women, whether that be in the US, in the UK, and also in Africa as well. We're seeing straight wigs and looser textured wigs pop up more and more often. Personally, in my school, I am one of the few that do wear her natural hair all the time, or even most of the time, because a lot of people in my school either wear their hair in back-to-back box braids or they hide their hair under wigs. Me, personally, whenever it's exam season or there's a time where I wouldn't be able to have my hands in my hair or as much as I need to, I put my hair in mini twists. And so I can easily wash my hair, moisturize my hair, access my scalp in case any issues arise, so it'll be easier. And then when I don't need to, I'll have my hair out. That's just how it is for me. And that's how it is for the only other girl who wore her natural hair. I know I was talking about hair care and scalp care quite a bit, so it sounds like I'm trying to say that people who do wear wigs don't have healthy hair. Sure, you do have some who do have healthy hair. An example is Brittany Rose. She's a YouTuber. She wears wigs a lot and her hair is still healthy. But that's not everybody. And I think she's kind of rare for that. Because when you see other people who wear wigs to quote-unquote grow their hair, their ends are see-through. They may be giving their hair time to grow underneath the wig, but once they take those cornrows out, they are ripping their hair from root to ends with combs. Sure, you do have the unicorns who treat their hair well even when they're outside of the protective styles, but it's really upsetting to say that it seems like it's the minority, because a big stereotype around Black women is that we don't have long hair, and that's due to the fact that we don't know how to take care of our hair. And covering up our hair with wigs is not going to help anything. We need to attack the problem directly at the source, which is learning how to take care of our hair. And don't get me wrong, I do understand where these people are coming from, because I used to be there. I used to be the kind of person who did back-to-back braids. I never wore a wig per se. I'm editing right now and I just realized I made a mistake. I said that I've never worn a wig before, but I did. I had a phase on a few weeks. I would wear this headband wig. It was some synthetic wig, but after that I stopped. So that's probably why I didn't remember it and I didn't say it. But yeah, I have. Just not on the lace front. That's probably what I meant. But I did wear braids perpetually, and the only times that I had my hair out was maybe a few days in between getting those braids. My hair was in a state, the ends were bad. I had to cut a lot of it off, but right now I love my hair. My hair's grown, my hair's flourishing, the ends are full. In terms of my hair texture, I love it too. It's like about a 4B, 4C, or should I say 4C, 4B, because I'm pretty sure it's mostly 4C. The only issue that I'm personally struggling with is the fact that my hair is a bit it's a bit fine, so it looks thinner. But that's literally it. You just have to figure out what you don't like about your hair and find out what you can do about it. Oh, do you think it's too difficult to comb through? Maybe try finger detangling, especially with a product with a lot of slip. If your issue with your hair is the fact that there can be very expensive products out there, just know you don't need Sacred. Don't get me wrong, I've heard Sacred is really nice. I don't have the means for that right now, but I've heard it's really nice. And one day I would like to try it, but right now I get stuff from my local shops. It's not necessarily black hair shops. I there's a store here in the UK called Asda. I'm sure you guys in like the US have Walmart and I don't know what's the other one, Target. I don't know if they sell hair products there, but in the Asda that we've got here, they sell hair products and I get mine from there and they work just fine. You really don't need anything too special, especially when it comes to shampoo and conditioner. Aussie Moist does it for me. She does. Keep in mind, every time I talk about wigs, this is coming from a place of love. This is not coming from a place of attack. I'm not attacking people. And I don't mean to offend people whenever I do. It's just that I'm trying to understand and get to the bottom of the issue that we've got amongst black women and how the fact that they prefer to hide their hair rather than embrace their hair. If you've been struggling with these kinds of things and you want to try and figure out what you could do to help your hair troubles, feel free to comment down below and then we can try and think of something. We can try and brainstorm as a community because now there's a thousand of us, so we can try and come up with something. So I just want to add real quick, I don't know if you guys heard, but there was a little bit ago, maybe like a few months ago or a few weeks ago, Sexy Red posted a video of her calling black women's hair nappy. And she was like, you nappy-headed women can't do this, can't do what I do, whatever the heck. And in the video, her hair was straightened. So I just want to reiterate that if her saying that made you feel bad as somebody with type 4 hair, maybe you have 4C or 4B, something tighter, 4A, and that made you feel bad, don't let it. Because this woman, more often than not, you will see her, no, not even more often than not, all the time, you will see her with a straight wig, a straight, or maybe even a wavy wig, a red one, obviously, that's her brand. I understand that. But like every time she's in the media, you see her with that wig, that same wig. You never get to see her hair. And even now that she showed you her natural hair, it's straightened to resemble those wigs that she oh so loves. So again, don't feel offended by someone who does not even show her natural texture to the world. What are you hiding it from? I don't know. But yeah, ignore her. She's not a very serious person anyway. Okay, so on to the second unpopular opinion. And I might get a bit of, pushback on this one, but I don't mind. I'm ready for it. Some parents dress their children inappropriately. Whenever I'm on Instagram and you see a parent and she's dressing a child and she's wearing something wildly inappropriate for her age, you see people in the comments commenting that the outfit is too grown. And then people reply to that saying, what do you mean it's too grown? If you have inappropriate thoughts about a child in an outfit, then you're a sicko, which I totally agree with. I 100% agree with. You need to realize that the women who are calling the child's outfit too grown are just looking out for the child and want that child to be protected because they know that there are some real predators out there who have not been discovered, or especially in the black community. You hear so much about how predators within the family get hidden and kind of, I don't want to say coddled, but as in people walk on eggshells around them and don't really like to call them out. You do get people in those comment sections saying that the child is fast. That's insanity. Like, why would you call a child that? There is nothing. Yeah, you should never talk that way about a child. I don't agree with those comments. But when these people do say too grown, I'm assuming that they're referring to the outfit, which is something I do agree with. And I also agree with the stance that even though I personally may not be a predator so therefore I don't see anything, remotely, I don't know what I can say on YouTube, sexual about that child, doesn't mean other people in the streets and on the internet are not doing that. The internet is anonymous. Anybody can say whatever nasty stuff they want in that comments. And even in real life, You don't know who's watching your child. If your child is coming out in like a skimpy outfit, sure, normal people will look at that child and won't think there's anything remotely sexual about that child, but you don't know where creeps are. Creeps don't openly say, "Hi, I'm a creep. Watch out for me." No, you have a duty to take care of your child, and taking care of your child also includes keeping them safe from harm, safe from predators. That is your duty as a parent. So that's why I don't really understand the pushback against calling an outfit too grown, and people trying to use a "you must be a sicko if you think that about a child" kind of rebuttal, because it just doesn't work. Because the person who's telling you that, do you really think a predator will come out and tell you to change your children's clothes if because it looks too inappropriate for their age? Do you think a predator will come out and say, "Don't make your child wear this"? No, they wouldn't. This person genuinely cares for you and wants your child to stay safe. So I don't understand the pushback against those kinds of comments. Maybe if you don't like seeing them, delete them, but I really think the parents who get those comments under their post, I really think they should listen. There are too many creeps out there for you to be dressing your children in clothes that are not for their age. Though I do acknowledge that some of these too grown comments can be really wild and overused, because I remember seeing an outfit of a child was fully covered up, wearing these baggy jeans, a hoodie, and some shoes, some trainers, some sneakers. It wasn't bad. But people were saying, "Oh, that's too grown. Adults wear that." That one, ignore those people. But when I see a child on my Instagram reels and the child is dressed like in the baddie aesthetic, the dress has cutouts, and the baby's wearing the child is wearing these little baby heels and wearing a bag and that kind of stuff, that is not right. Oh my gosh, that just reminded me. Why are people putting wigs on children? Because I've also been seeing this on Instagram. People fully putting a wig on their child. It's like they're trying to start the whole self-hate indoctrination real young. That is highly inappropriate. Why am I seeing a 5-year-old with a bust-down Brazilian wavy? Oh, hell no. That needs to be stopped like yesterday. And people will be in the comments just justifying it. Be like, "Oh, the child is allowed to have this. Leave the child alone. Their mum said yes." Girl, shut up. So my next opinion that may cause a bit of controversy is the fact that women say men are trash, and it's not the women's fault. Or at least it's not the women's idea. Personally, I don't say that because I don't believe that. But there are women who say that, and I think it's due to the fact that when little girls are brought up, they're brought up with the whole notion of my daughter isn't going to marry anybody till she's not going to date until she's 35. But you see your brothers and stuff, they can go and get girlfriends if they want to, but you can't get a boyfriend because boys are bad. Boys can get you pregnant. Boys can hurt you. So why are they surprised when women grow up and say that men are trash? That's what they've been told their whole life. They literally watched their brothers go and have their own relationships when they had to have one either in secret or not at all, due to the fact that their dads, their granddads, their uncles tell them that men are not to be trusted. Even in movies, you see, whenever the daughter, for example, it will be a movie about prom, whenever the daughter would bring home a boy to be like, "Oh, this is who I want to go to prom with," the dad will be sussing him out, be like, "What are your intentions with my daughter?" Because they're so skeptical about other men. They know what other men are capable of, and they put this whole, instill this whole mindset into their daughters that men are dangerous, men are trash, men are not to be trusted. So how do you expect someone to grow up and not still believe that? It reminds me of something that I saw on TikTok. If I have a screenshot of it, I'll put it on the screen. But there was this confused white guy, and he was like, "I low-key want to be black, but I think that the hair will be too hard to handle." As soon as I saw that, I was annoyed. Not at him. But don't get me wrong, that was obviously it's silly of him to say that. But the fact that black people have complained about their hair so much that it managed to get into the minds of white people as well, and now they believe, oh, black people's hair is difficult. Because all you see online, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitter, is people saying, "I hate my hair. Oh, I hate my 4C. I've been cursed with 4C." Now the white people here. Well done. Well done to all those people who loudly proclaim from the high heavens that your hair is a curse. Now other people have heard. That's how loud you are. And the kicker is, that these people say these things to, for example, men say that to women, black people say that in the presence of white people, and don't realize how bad it sounds. The only time they actually realize how bad it is when they hear it said back to them. And that's my stance on that, girl. Okay, so my next opinion, which may be a bit controversial, well, all of them are to be fair, but this one may be more so than other people because I'm directly critiquing a group of people. Most mainstream black musical artists, like singers, rappers, especially the male ones, are not doing anything positive for the black community as a whole. I'm a firm believer that degenerates are always going to be degenerates. And once they get the means, for example, the money, that comes with rapping or singing, they're going to take that degeneracy to the max because now they're actually able to. Don't get me wrong, I understand the appeal of rap music. I listen to it sometimes, not that much, because I'm also listen to pop and R&B, the Beyonce, the Mariah, the Whitney Houston, ballads, all that kind of stuff. But I still understand the appeal of rap. It's nice, it's fun, it's upbeat, good to, bump to and all of that. But a lot of these songs and these artists are detrimental to our representation as black people because they tend to glorify hood culture and promote promiscuity. With promiscuity, a lot of people don't think that it applies to men, as a lot of the scrutiny is put on women. Like, women, you shouldn't be a hoe. That's why they say women are hoes, women are whores, women are sluts. They've got so many ways to demonize a promiscuous woman, but when it comes to man, there are barely any words. All the words that I can think of are something that praises him for being that way, which is just not true. Because male promiscuity can lead to unsuccessful marriages too. People love to say, bring up a specific study about how the more partners a woman has had before marriage, the worse the marriage goes and the more likely it is to end up in divorce. But it's the exact same thing with males as well. But maybe it might be one or two different, but the trend is very much the same. And also, these rich degenerates love to make children out of wedlock. And I'm not even just talking one and they're with the mother of the child, they stay together, but they're just not married. No, I mean, they bounce from woman to woman, leaving a new child in their wake. And that is so detrimental to the culture because all of these confused children grow up and don't know how to act like, I'm not saying they don't know how to act like normal people, but as in they're missing guidance that would come from a good father figure. And this is not to say that someone must have a father in order to be a good person, because I know many people who don't have their father in their life, but they're amazing people. And I also know people who have both parents in their life, but they are not as well adjusted as those other people. It's just the fact that having good parents, emphasis on the good parents, because obviously there are bad parents in this world, but having good parents can set you at a really nice place in life. And I've heard that people from a single mother household tend to, well, I'm talking men, tend to occupy the prisons more than people with both parents. And there are some statistics that support this, so if I can find any, I'll pull it up. I just realized I deviated kind of far from what I was talking about. Okay, so back to the fact that a lot of black musical artists, specifically male ones, don't do anything positive for the community. Or at least when they do anything, it's not a net positive. Because I've heard some creating these initiatives which help single mothers and their children, but at the same time, they're creating single mothers and confused children, replenishing the stocks in the process. Keep that in mind. So that's them making a net zero change in their communities. They could be opening shops and making more jobs for people in the hood, but instead they decide to spend all their money on these bust down glitz and glam chains, and these things are expensive. They spend hundreds of thousands on these ugly ass chains. A lot of them are ugly. I will be very honest with you, a lot of them are ugly. When they buy them, I'm like, why the heck did you buy this? It is absolutely awful. But, if you like it, I love it. They could have been spending their money helping their community and helping bring them up with them. Because you hear them talking about how they start from the bottom, they go out the mud. Meanwhile, their people are still drowning in the mud. I just want to quickly add this. I don't live in the hood, so just in case anybody thought this was coming out of a place of maybe I was bitter or resentful. No, my family very much, we're doing good. But yeah, I understand wanting to move out of the hood and do better for you and your family. But the fact that these people, their community supports them and helps them out of the hood, and they just leave them in the dust. Again, they don't owe anybody anything. But the fact that they don't even help out the community just says a lot about their character, and the fact that they're willing to use people in order to get up and then leave them in the dust once they are up. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but they do glorify gang culture. You see it as well in the UK, and I'm pretty sure in America as well. People being inspired from this. Drill music is very prominent in the UK, especially in London. People get inspired from that and they think, oh, the life is so cool. So they decide to enroll themselves in it and don't know what they're getting into. Every day you hear an incident about somebody being stabbed to death in the streets, and oh my gosh, stabbing is so scary because, like, imagine if you shoot somebody, that's like you could just shoot anywhere and you don't know where it's going to hit. You can close your eyes and shoot somebody, but stabbing, you're taking an you're actively doing it, like plunging that into somebody's body. That's insane. That's so personal and so wrong. All of them are wrong, obviously, but like that one's so bad. But you hear many instances of knife crime, especially among gangs in the UK. I'm sure there are a lot of shootings in America, which is obviously sad. But a big part of it that some people don't want to admit is the fact that all of this drill music and the music that's heavily involved in crime and stuff and glorifying crime, this is part of it, is part of the problem. A lot of people like to say, it's just music to you. But there is someone out there who will hear that and be like, oh, that's what I want to do. Oh, that sounds so fun. That sounds so exciting. Someone who does not see anything better going on in their life. Maybe they're struggling in school and they're like, oh, I want to make a bit of money. Let me sell some illicit substances and get some money. Rap music and how they affect the males in the community is a real big problem. And I know my channel is centered around women, but you have to realize that these women are going to have to deal with these kind of men. So yeah, it's everybody's problem. Now, one of my issues with female rap is the fact that, especially from people like Cardi B and Sexy Red, Sukihana. First of all, I don't listen to Sukihana's music. Frankly, I think it's a bit disgusting. Some of the stuff that she says is just way too detailed, way too descriptive. I don't need to know the texture of anything, frankly, and I don't need to know any of that. She just doesn't need to share what she shares. Also, Sexy Red, her music, people say it's fun to bop to, but I don't understand the appeal of that one. Cardi B's music is at least listenable. I like hers, but there are some times where she gets a bit too, how would I say this, like vulgar in her songs, especially like WAP. That was a moment. What was that, like 2020, when her and Megan Thee Stallion made that song all about their coochie? Like, girl, people are looking at the black community and being like, so this is black culture. Interesting. And it's WAP. What? I also like Megan Thee Stallion's music because she doesn't just talk about that. But with Sexy Red and Sukihana, no, their songs are very much unlistenable to me, personally. And I just don't like what they talk about. Again, you can disagree with my opinions, any of them. This place is not... I understand that we as black women are not a monolith, so maybe Sukihana and Sexy Red's music resonates with you. I don't know how, but okay, girl. And we have to realize that some of these people, the stuff that they're talking about in their music, they're not doing it in real life. For example, you'll see people saying, I will steal her man, I'll steal her man, oh, cheat on my husband, whatever the heck. And you see, they're the most loyalist people behind all the facade of the whole facade of their music and all the things they say in that they're the sweetest person. Or you'll see, do you remember in WAP when Cardi said, I don't cook, I don't clean? And then Offset put a video on, I think, Instagram, showing her cleaning up the floor. And it's just like, they're not being real in their rap, so don't take what they say as gospel. Just maybe get whatever you can out of it. If you think it's a fun little bop, if you like to dance to it, then fair enough. But just don't apply whatever they say into your real life, because that just will not benefit you, in my opinion. Okay, so my next unpopular opinion, this one might stir a little bit of controversy in the comments, and I'm ready for it. But I don't care when white women wear braids personally. Oftentimes their hair falls out as a result. People been telling them that braids aren't for your hair type, it's not gonna work well, and they do it and their hair falls out. You see, that's just not my business. When I see a white woman with braids, I don't feel anything. I get in certain circumstances when you see someone who bashes black women and then they go and wear black women hairstyles, fair enough. I see why you'll be angry about that. But I think it will serve you more to conserve your energy and focus on yourself and how you can improve yourself and your hair rather than what somebody else is doing. I don't even see that many white women with braids, and I might get a little bit of hate for this, but some of the people who I see talking about braids being bad on white women, some of those people wear wigs. And it's like, girl, the jokes are going to write themselves and they're going to very much say it. The white women are going to say, but you wear straight hair like me. Why can't I wear braids like you? And people bring up a very valid point that white women weren't chastised and penalized for having straight hair, which very much I get that. But how are you going to expect someone to take you seriously when you're confronting them wearing braids when you're wearing a wig at the same time? It just, to them, it will seem very much hypocritical. It will seem like you don't have a point. If I can find a TikTok about this lady, I will insert it in here, but I'm not sure if I can find it because I think she's deleted them. But there's this white woman who was really rude to black women on TikTok, and she got braids and all of that. And when she was taking the braids out and she washed her hair, it all matted up and she had to cut her hair a lot. And then after, she was acting as if she still liked it. It looked quite choppy. It wasn't really a straight cut. Fair enough. I see like she's the only person who did it, so obviously it wouldn't look straight. But at the same time, it just seems very karmatic. As in, you're here dissing black women up and down, and then when you try and do something that you think will spite them, it ends up biting you in the butt. I mean, don't waste your energy to try and inform these women because they know. They know, they've heard it so much, they know, but they're just choosing to ignore. Save your energy. Karma will deal with them if you don't believe in God. And if you do believe in God, God will teach them that braids aren't meant for their hair. But apart from that, you shouldn't care too much. You really shouldn't. If you disagree about this, it's very much valid. Just tell me why in the comments. Tell me why you want to direct your energy towards these women who don't want to listen. Okay, so I did have two more opinions that I wanted to put, but I don't think it would be appropriate for this video because I think they'll be better suited as something more long form, and I might make a separate video for each of them. And yeah, so that'll be all for the video. If you have any questions, comment, concerns, or maybe you disagreed with something I said, make sure to comment that down below. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified on when my next uploads are, feel free to click the notification bell. All right, thank you, bye.